right, so if you notice here, when we go to contacts like this, this gets squashed. So what we want is not to be able to see this anymore once we do this. So to accomplish this, what we need to do is wrap everything, all these messages, into a single div. So at this point, I'm just going to put a div around everything. Let me move it a little bit here. This should come here, like so. All right, so let me duplicate that just so we can have all this in there. Then I'll give it an ID. So I'm just going to say this is the messages holder or something like that. That way I can deactivate it if I want to. Okay, great. And then let's add a few properties of the same thing as well. So I'm going to add a few styles directly right here. I will say border. Let me just give it a border so that we can see where it ends. Border solid thin 888. Let's try that. And then let me give it a proper height. I'm going to say height 80%. So let's see that in action. There we go. So there is our thing there. Now what I want, and this is good enough here. Now I want it to be able to scroll down when there's too many messages, because right now, if for some reason let me add some extra messages here just to see what happens. Several of them. So let's go here, let's go there. So you see, this is what's happening there. The messages are going overboard here. So the first thing we need to do is go to the same div and say overflow y scroll. So we're telling it to scroll anything that goes overboard. So this is what we get. So now you can actually scroll in the messages there. Very nice. Okay, but still this is a bit long, so let me tell it to go down to maybe 60%. Let's try that. Okay, but still this has gone. Oh, it's actually me there that has zoomed in. Okay, so 90% is actually better. Let's come back here. Okay, there we go. So 90%. Then we can put our final stuff here. Okay, this is great. So it's beginning to look like a message, a chat thingy. So let me put just one of these here, message left, and see what that does. Okay, so it's beginning to look like a chat system after all. Let me scroll down to confirm. Still kind of going upward. I don't know why. Let me put 80% there. Okay, something like that. Refresh. Okay, so there we go. And then it's going upward like this. Oh, that's because of the flexing down here. So you can limit this by let's go to our index page. Where is our wrapper? The thing that wraps everything. Ooh, there's so many styles, I didn't realize this. Okay, there we go. Mean height we have, but I think we should make this the max height now. So let's just say height 500 pixels, something like that. So you can design it as desired. Okay, maybe let's save it at mean there. let's put one for max, which will be 600 pixels. Let's do that and let's see what happens. Oops, there we go. So this thing is overflowing in there, which is not good, but the thing there is holding. So let me try 650 just so I know what the maximum is. Refresh. Okay, I'll try 630. Okay, so now what I will do is left panel here, max height, left inner. These are the culprits here, because you can right click on the item that is going overboard, like in this case this one. Or what I could do, instead of suffering like this, I could give this one an absolute height. So let me go to the charts here. Right here where it says height, I can just say 500 pixels. Or let's try 400. That way we have an absolute value, something like this. Okay, great. So I can take it to 500. Contacts. There we go. So 500 pixels. Not bad. Let's try 600. Okay, so the thing is, now I need at the very bottom here, I need to add another div where I can put my buttons right here. So I'll say div. So we need a send button, of course. So I'm going to say input type is equal to button, and then let's do that. Let's give it a value of send. So let's see that in action, and there we go. And then we are still having this problem. So I think what I'll do is I'll just let me inspect the element here. This is inner left panel. So inner left panel and inner right panel, I have to give them some absolute values here on height. So inner left panel, there we go. It has a minimum height, but let's give it a max height as well, so it doesn't get too excited. So I can say 600. I think that's good enough. So max height 600. Inner right panel, same thing, max height 600. So let's see what they do in this case. Okay, so a bit too much still. Let's see, 500, 500. Wow, who knew styling was this cumbersome? There we go. So they are sticking to their guns, but this is going overboard. So that's because I gave it an absolute value as well. So let me try 550 here, 550. Okay, 550 is fine. So I gave it an absolute value here. So I need to push it down to 500. Okay, there we go. So we are seeing something, some light at the end of the tunnel. So let's try 450 so that we leave enough space here. Even less. 400. Refresh. No, because of the flex, it doesn't want to budge. Anyway, this is good enough. So let me leave the button there, and we have styles here for buttons already. Or do we? I think we do not. We have that in the login page. So let me come here where it says input type submit, or where is this? There we go. I'm going to copy these from my login page, come to index and add them as part of the styles, just so we can see what will happen to the button. Okay, so that didn't work at all, but not to fear. Let's go back here. Where is the button? Right here. All right, so I think what I will do here is this. So we have one problem here of, if I click on contacts right now, everything gets squashed, but I want all this to disappear here. So this is why I created this, but message holder, I think I need a second one here, like so. The second one will be the messages holder parent, for lack of better words. And then let me come down here. So I want one to cover the entire oh, I guess this is why I had problems here. I didn't put a closing tag there. So I want this to be like this. Something like that. So now I can remove the scrolling on the one that is outside here. So no border here. Border can remain, height can remain, overflow scroll can come out. Okay, so what I want now is to be able to grab this messages holder parent and then make it disappear as well. So here what we need to do is to look for the function that is activated when we click on contacts here. Okay, so when I click on contact to load contacts, we know that we are loading contacts here. So this one it is. So once we load contacts, I want us to remove the right panel. So let's do this here. So once we receive the messages, inner right panel like this, inner right. So once we have it now, we can do something with it. So let me change to right again here. So inner right panel dot style dot display is equal to none. Okay, this is what we do here. So let me refresh, click. So once we receive chats, oh, wait, I think we added it on the wrong place. So let's switch things up a little bit. So what I would do is I'm going to declare this thing up there, up here, just as the thing is beginning right here. If there are some results, just right here. So as soon as there's results, I'll declare it right there. And then I'll change this instead of changing the display, because the problem is you can't animate the display. It's either it's none or it's not. So this is a problem, because right now what's happening is that our animation is gone, because when I click on this, it's immediately there. Oh, actually everything is gone. So what I will do is just change the overflow instead. I'll say overflow hidden, something like this, because at least I can animate this hidden property. So let me copy this and then come at the top here. So what we'll do is we'll start by activating it first. So we'll say overflow visible. This is so that it's only hidden when we get to this part. Anything else doesn't touch this. So I think this should solve the problem. So let me refresh, click here. Oh, there we go. Then if I click on contacts, it will squeeze them to oblivion. That is awesome. This is what I wanted. There we go. Okay, so now we just need a better design of this section right here. So let's go back to charts and give it another go. So here, this holder right there is the one that should have a specific height value. So let's say 400 pixels there. Let me try 350. And then let's put this one at 500. Right? So let's try that. Okay, so that one is good. Oh, I think I'm swapping which is which. So message holder. Oh, right. So message holder parent here. The parent should be bigger than this other one. So I don't know why I swapped these. So this one 350, this one 500. So actually, let's put this at 400. And then 350. So one more time, and we're getting somewhere. This is awesome. So now we can just move these a few, say 4 and then 90, something like this. Awesomeness. So at least down here we have space to put a text box and this thing here. So let's do that. Let me come down here at the very end. So this is our input here. So I will duplicate this and put this type text like this. And then what I'll do is inside this div, I'm going to put style, and I'm going to say display flex, like so, so that these are added to one location here. So placeholder, they added column by column. Placeholder is equal to type your message. Okay, type your message. This one is send, and the value here should be empty, like this. Okay, great. We do it again. Boom. There we go. So this is what we have now. So display flex, and then I'm going to give a style for each of these. This one as well. Let's give it a width of 100 pixels. 100%, sorry. Maybe we should specify how much these should flex. So I'll say flex 1 for each. Okay, there we go. This is working now. And let me specify a height as well, 40 pixels. And then the button should have a smaller flex. So this one, let's try 6:1, something like this. Okay, so we are getting there. So text there, send button, very good. So now we can remove the borders at the top here. We don't need them because those were simply visual aids. So border, same here, remove. This way we just see yeah, we just see our content here like this. Okay, very, very good. But we can add more space down here. So as usual, we go back to tinkering with these things to give us more space. So this is the wrapper. can go up to max height. Okay, so 630. That's how far we can go. So right panel with inner, left and right panel. So let's say max height 630 as well. 630. Let's utilize the most of this. Okay, great. If I go back to chats now, height, the maximum is 630. And let's try this one at 450. Let's try that. Okay, that worked fine, but these guys are pulling too much, so go back to the inner circle here. Instead of 630, let's try 530. That's because of the header here at the top, so they're extending too far because of that header. Okay, so we have something we can work with now. So one more tweak just to move these down a little bit. Final. So here 450, let's try 500. Go. Okay, almost 480. I think that's our magic number now. Right, that is it. So to add some styles down here inside chats, this is chats again. So this input box right here, I can add a style. I don't want it to have a border, so I just want to say border none. These text boxes usually look better when the border is none. And also the button, I want to add a cursor of pointer so that somebody knows they can actually click on that button and do something. So there we go. This is much better. So button, and then you can type your message here. And so you can style these as you like. Font size, let me put it at 14 pixels. Add padding of 4 pixels in there. Okay, so style these as you like, to your liking, and then there we go. So we have type your message here. It's looking much better. So I can type and then hit send, and it's supposed to show here. Okay, so far so good. We'll stop here for now, then we can make this actually practical in the next video.